Hello guys, welcome to another session. In this session, we are going to look into AWS Management Console. But prior to that, let's look into our journey so far. So far, we have seen that what was happening prior to AWS. Then we have understand that what is region and what is availability zone. So these are the two concepts which was very important. So we have understand that. Now after that, we have looked into how to set up your free tier account on AWS. So now we have created the account. Now the next step is that we have to understand that what is AWS Management Console is. But prior to that, I wanted to discuss some of the point regarding AWS Management Console. Basically, AWS Management Console is nothing but an interface or say mechanism by which you can interact with AWS managed services. So to understand it better, let's jump into the AWS Management Console and understand that what my statement means. So to access console, what you need to do, you need to write this address https, and here that you need to write console.amazon aws.amazon.com and then enter. So this will take you to the AWS console management site, and here you need to provide the credentials. Use the account which you have used for account creation with AWS. For example, I have used this email address. Then I need to mention over here and click on next. After that, you need to provide your password. Once you log in, then you will find that this screen. So this screen is called AWS Management Console. So here the question comes that why do we use AWS Management Console? So to answer your question, the AWS Management Console provides the interface to access the AWS managed service. As I told in our earlier discussion that AWS offer various services to their users. So we need a way by which we can access those services, or say we need a way by which we can configure those services to use it further. So AWS Management Console provide that mechanism. So for example, here you will find the list of all the services over here where and it is being grouped together like compute instance. We will discuss all this thing in the upcoming session. For a time being, just consider that. So compute is a group, machine learning is a group, and these are the services which belong to a particular group. So they have categorized it like that way. Same way storage, database, analytics. So many service offerings provided by AWS. We are not going into all these services, but definitely I will provide you a technique or a way by which you can work with any of the services with that technique in this course. We will play with some of the commonly used services manually first, and then we will do the automation of those services, whichever services which I explained in the manual part of this course. So moving further, let's understand the console is what are the areas it has given that. If you look into the right side of this screen, then you will find that this is the profile which is being given over here, your profile description, and you are seeing that it's coming like North Virginia. So this is the region or the first region you can say that where AWS was launched, and then it is spreaded across. So here you will find all the regions where AWS is having the presence, and we need to select whichever the nearest region like Asia Pacific Mumbai. So, but the thing is, whenever AWS is coming with new services, it will be first released with North Virginia region. So better we can stick with North Virginia region because we can get an opportunity to look into what are the services. All the services you will find in North Virginia region, but it is not necessary that you will find that services in that other particular region. But it is very good practice if you are sticking into the nearest region. Why? Because it will provide us a low latency while accessing the services. So that means that suppose that if you're trying to access any services, it will take lesser time if you are accessing to the nearest region. But if you're trying to access some other services from the other region, then it will take more time, or say latency is very high compared to the nearest one. But in this course, we are going to stick with North Virginia region. So once we understand that, let's move further. So here you can also access the services with the help of this search box. So if you want to access, for example, S3, then you will be accessing like this. So whichever service which you want to access, you can write the name of that service and it will be coming over here. You need to select it. So this is one of the way. There is other way you can access the services like this. Here also you will find those information. For example, you will get the information like which group, which service belongs to. The same way you can get a complete glance over here. And here also you need to write the service name with this mega menu. So this is a mega menu they have provided, and what you need to do, you need to provide, for example, I want to access EKS service, so you need to write it and it will give you the managed Kubernetes on AWS. So all these services, they are telling it as a resource. You can manage those resources as per your convenience and as per your project, whichever it is. So you can come here, you can create the group of those resources. You can say you can check that what are the groups you have saved, and you can also look into the tag editors. Tag editor can be used to manage the services which you have created and tagged while the time of creation of that services. So from tag editor you can manage those services. I haven't created any services, so you will not get over here. So this is the use of tag editor. So design wise, Amazon has created very simple design of their AWS management console, and they have provided really good documentation on each of the services. So how do we can access the documentation? To access the documentation, what you need to do, you need to come over here and click on the documentation. So here you will get the details about all those services which you want to learn about. You can click on documentation and it will take you to this location, and where you can search for the information about that services. So see here, it has provided the tutorial as well along with the project, so you can look into those documentation as well. So I would recommend that bookmark this page, because I am 100% sure that we will be coming back by and then to this page to get the information about the AWS managed services. So this is what I wanted to demonstrate you in this session. So see you in the next session. Till then, bye bye, take care.